What is up, YouTube? Welcome back to Addiction TV. It's been a while. I miss chit-chatting with you guys, but I am back now, and I just want to let you guys know I got a shit ton of new content coming your way, and we're going to go ahead and kick this thing off with my ranking of Marvel Studios Avengers movies. From my least favorite to my number one favorite. You guys know I love Marvel Studios films. I love Marvel Comics. They hold a special place in my heart. The video games are awesome. I played the beta on PlayStation 4 for the new Avengers game, and I don't want to give any spoilers away, but all I can say is, oh damn. Hell yeah, and I am glad I pre-ordered it. And unfortunately, COVID-19 is fucking everything up in the movie industry. All the Marvel Studios films have been pushed back, so I figured, you know what, since I can't review any upcoming Marvel Studios films for quite a while, Black Widow's been pushed back, and I figured, you know what, let's go ahead and do an Avengers ranking. So, without any further ado, let's go ahead and get into this ranking. And before we get started, I want to go ahead and say I do not dislike any of these movies. I actually love all of them, but, you know, I have my least favorite and I have my number one favorite. So, let's go ahead and get into this ranking. And coming in at number 4 is Avengers Age of Ultron. And in Avengers Age of Ultron, Tony Stark and Bruce Banner try to jumpstart a peacekeeping program called Ultron, which turned out to be a very bad idea. Don't get me wrong, I really like this film, I enjoy this film, but I feel a certain type of way about this movie. I kind of feel the same way about DC's Batman vs. Superman, and I just feel like there was way too much shit crammed into 2.5 hours. You know, taking down Hydra, introducing Scarlet Witch, introducing Quicksilver, then killing his ass, introducing Vision and showing how they gotta put Jarvis and Vision, introducing Claw, and it felt like, I mean, yeah, it was an Avengers movie, but it felt like, okay, we're gonna just use this movie to introduce characters. And yes, Ultron was badass. I thought James Spader did a very good job playing Ultron. He was literally the best part of the movie. Ultron was fucking dope. And, you know, the shot of the fucking Avengers taking down the Ultron bots was pretty damn dope. But at the end of the day, it's still my least favorite Avengers film. You know, explaining the scepter and explaining the Mind Stone, putting it in Vision, it was just like a shit ton of shit crammed into a little bag, and I was like, oh man, I love this movie, but, you know, there's still too much shit going on here. So coming in at number 4 is Avengers Age of Ultron. Coming in at number 3 is Avengers Endgame. And I know what you guys are thinking. You're thinking, oh man, why is fucking Avengers Endgame so low on the list? Hey, hear me out. Avengers Endgame is an amazing film. It is not a bad film at all. You know, it's a movie that I will continue to watch over and over again. I really enjoy this movie. It's extra badass. The final battle is amazing, but sadly, the movie is very, very slow compared to the other 3 Avengers movies. And I understand why they did that. You know, Infinity War was action-packed from beginning to end. But there was just, I like Endgame, but it was just, there was a couple of things in there I just didn't really care for. There was a couple of things in there that I loved. Like, for example, one thing I don't like, not being a dick, I personally don't care for Brie Larson as Captain Marvel, you know, and I'm not the only person to say that. You know, there's just something about her. I just don't see her as my Captain Marvel. And, you know, I understand they had to kill off Tony Stark. You know, they're like, okay, we got to calm down on paying Robert Downey Jr. half of our budget for each film. You know, I get that. But we're not going to talk about the negatives anymore. Let's go ahead and talk about what I did like. I love what they did with Thor, which a lot of people hated. I love Fat Thor. Thor really needed some character development, you know, and Tony Stark having a kid with Pepper Potts, that was great, man. Like I said, the movie itself was great. I just didn't really care for Brie Larson And, it makes me sad to see Tony Stark go. But Avengers Endgame, hey, still great movie. I'm going to nerd out every time I watch it. The final battle was fucking epic. And I don't know how they're going to top it. I'm looking forward to see how they do. I'm ready to find out what they do next. So, coming in at number 3 is Avengers Endgame. And coming in at number 2 is probably one of my best slash craziest slash most emotional theater experiences that I have ever had going to see a movie. And coming in at number 2 is Avengers Infinity War. And Avengers Infinity War wastes no time getting straight to the point. The movie opens up, and as soon as the movie opens up, we know that Thanos is not fucking around. Beating the fuck out of the Hulk, killing Loki, and it was just amazing seeing all these characters over, 20 movies that I've grown to love come together in one movie and done so well. Spider-Man, Doctor Strange, Black Panther, Iron Man, all these characters. And, dude, I don't think I've ever nerded out so hard during a movie. And the Guardians of the Galaxy meeting the Avengers, the battle in Wakanda, the battle on Titan. Man, Infinity War is like, oh man, holy shit. This movie is so epic. And it's not really even an Avengers movie, it's a Thanos movie. But I love this movie. It's action-packed from beginning to end. Yes, it's 2.5 hours. It sure as hell don't feel like it. And another thing that I really love about Infinity War is that the Avengers lost. We never see the heroes lose. They lost. And that was a good choice in the film for me. I was like, oh man, like it was emotional seeing the Avengers lose. Thanos collects all the stones. He does the snap. Half the Avengers are snapped away, with 50% of all living creatures. And Infinity War was my best theater experience ever. Like, and the music cues and the score, oh man, it just had me so fucking pumped, man. I was just so excited the whole movie. So coming in at number 2 is Avengers Infinity War. And last but not least, coming in at number 1 is 2012's The Avengers. The first movie to see the Avengers assemble. Dude, this movie was, oh man, seeing this movie was like seeing like nothing I'd ever seen before. I was like, oh man, this is so dope. This is so awesome. That battle between Iron Man and Thor, I was just like, oh shit. This is awesome. Seeing Clint Barton and Eric Selvig under Loki's spell with the scepter. Oh, man, dude, I was just so excited. And it was just one of the craziest experiences I've ever felt watching a movie. And sadly, I did not get to see it in theaters. I was going through some shit at the time, some personal shit, and didn't really go see many movies. But as soon as it was out on Blu-ray, I seen it. And, dude, I'm not going to lie to you. The first time I watched it again right after I watched it. I watched it twice, back to back. And I'm like, oh man, we got Tony Stark, we got Cap, we got Thor, we got Black Widow. And it was just so awesome. The music was great. Samuel L. Jackson as Nick Fury was great. Mark Ruffalo as Bruce Banner was great. Seeing the Hulk like that was amazing. And I'm just like, oh man, this is fucking epic, dude. Like, I was so excited. It's the only Avengers film I didn't get to see in the theaters, which is sad. But at the same time, I didn't care. And I have a lot of friends. I'm like, dude, you have to see this movie. And they're like, nah, man, I ain't no nerd. I ain't into comic books. And I'm like, bro, dude, watch it. So I made like 3 or 4 people watch this movie. And they're like, dude, that was badass. And I'm like, nigga, I fucking told you it was fucking, it's epic, bro. And they wanted to watch it again, so we watched it again. So it was awesome, seeing Loki and the Chitauri, the battle in New York. It was great. And then the after credits, the post credit scene when Thanos turns and smiles. Oh man, it just had me pumped. I'm like, okay, Marvel Studios, y'all doing something. Y'all creating this team, and man, there ain't no coming back now. I know y'all about to kill some shit. But what's your favorite Avengers film? What's your least favorite? Let me know in the comments. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And hey, there's more videos coming, more Marvel, more horror. You already know that. So let me know how you guys feel about Marvel Studios. Let me know what you like. Let me know what you dislike. And until next time, guys, coming at you from Addiction TV, it has been fun.